Guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing another review on Bastian Schweinsteiger, the mid-icon card of his. We're going to go through his player details, his stats, his traits, as well as some clips of him and the summary that we always do at the end. But before we get into all of that, I've asked you guys to please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you know I upload, and comment down below what your thoughts are on this card and whether you think his pace holds him back a little. Getting into Bastian Schweinsteiger, he is 6 foot tall, high work rates, right-footed, 3-star clean moves, 3-star weak foot. So maybe a bit of a weakness there already with the weak foot. I prefer my midfielders to have a higher weak foot, and it wasn't noticeable his weak foot weakness, but sometimes he did put a pass askew somewhere or misplace something. That was a little bit annoying, and I figured out that it was actually his weak foot. His high work rates are phenomenal, guys. I didn't feel like he was ever out of position. I felt like he provided attacking options at the right time. He covered up defensively at the right time. He was just a really well balanced, good card. This card, I really enjoy it, and it's really just a check to see if his pace is the stat that holds him back a lot. Getting into his details, of course, he is an icon. This is the mid-icon version, and he is from Germany, so you've got a lot of linkability in the Bundesliga, in the Premier League, in La Liga. You've got all over the place, as well as some nice icon links there too. Attribute details, and immediately we look at the acceleration. 65 acceleration, so I gave him Shadow Chem Style to try and boost that. I also wanted to boost his defending, as he played in a defensive midfield role for me. I wanted him to be in that situation where I could win things with the bigger defensive midfield, give it to him, or win stuff with him and drive immediately out of that midfield with him and create chances or create opportunities for the rest of the team to go forward. His stamina is 94, guys, and his aggression is 91, so he is really getting stuck in there, and it's all game. He does not stop. He does not stop no matter what. His shooting, decent. Finishing is a bit of a letdown here, guys. 79 finishing, which meant that I only scored 1 goal, I think it was, with him, and got 3 assists. So not great returns in terms of that, but for a player who I had deep in midfield, conducting the play, running the show for me, really, and I usually use Fabregas in that position, so I need someone who's a good passer next to Thomas Partey, who I usually play him with. It was great to have that sort of passing as well from Schweinsteiger. The other thing I didn't like about this card, guys, his agility and his balance is a little bit low. It makes it a bit more difficult to get away from defenders quickly. You have to be more considerate with this card. Use him in a slower way and slower build up as well, because he can't run the fast pace attack. And the other thing as well is that his free kicks and set pieces weren't as good as I would want them to be. 82 free kick accuracy, so not great. His shot power is a little bit low as well. Maybe this is because it's the later version of him and he doesn't have as good stats because of that. But Schweinsteiger, I know, always had decent set pieces, so it was a bit disappointing not to be able to just absolutely leather one with him from time to time. His long shots as well, guys, just to cover this, were a bit of an issue too. I didn't really get many of them off, and because he's slow, it's difficult to find the time and the space to let rip with these. You have to get a bit of a run up, obviously, and let them go, but just didn't get that chance with Schweinsteiger, so that was also a bit of an issue. Next, the traits, long passer. Now, I'll get more into this into the clips, but his long passing does need a bit of work, and you need to be considered when you play these passes. Sometimes they get intercepted very easily because he floats it as opposed to drilling it more so. I don't know whether that's just his animations, but that's just seemed like it to me. Long shot taker, of course, I didn't get to use this much. Playmaker, very good playmaker, guys. He conducts the play so well. You can use him really to run the show of your team and have someone next to him to kind of protect him and help him out in the defensive area. And of course, team player trait there as well. The icon profile, this is from the, what it looks like, the 2014 World Cup. I will let you guys read this in your own time. We won't go too much into that. So it maybe is later on in his career when he was started on downward spiral, maybe why he's a little bit slower than his prime card. Now that we've covered all of this, let's get into some of the clips that I've got with him. So guys, getting to some of Bastian Schweinsteiger's clips here, and the first one here is just a little defensive interception, playing the ball out there, and I've got a mix of clips here for you guys. He did only get 3 assists and 1 goal, but the main thing about this card is just his playmaking, his ability to be able to hold the ball, retain the ball, conduct the midfield, run the midfield entirely based on just his passing and positioning. It's absolutely sensational, and that's maybe the most fantastic thing about this card is the positioning of it, the way you can play with him, despite him being so slow. And I did boost him with a shadow. I would recommend trying him with a dead eye as well to boost that shooting and passing, but overall, he was just a very good player. just to control that midfield with, again, fantastic positioning. You win the ball back easily, and again, you've got a nice option there. He provides the option for the left wing there. Again, he sits off in the right option, ready for the pass if need be. Here again, you can see, and this is what I loved about using this card. It's not that his agility is really bad all the time and it's not usable. It's that he is a little bit slow, and you have to be a bit more calculated with how you play with this card, play with him a bit smarter, because if you do that, then he's absolutely phenomenal to use. Again, there you can see he positions himself beautifully to create these chances. Again, driving out here, it's not that you can't beat the man, but here again you can see just turning there and a lovely ball around the corner, and it's those kind of passes that allow you just to create chances for your team. He's really good at those. Driving again from the heart of midfield, he's not the quickest, but when you're in this position, you can pick out any ball you feel like picking out. Again, I maybe should have scored that chance, which I then ended up missing. Here again, fantastic defensive positioning, good turn on the man, and a lovely run through there. Again, driving into midfield, and once you're in this position, you can pick out any ball you fancy. It's just a case of doing so. When he's in the transition on the defense as well, guys, it's easy enough to just muscle people off the ball as well. His strength is phenomenal. He wins the ball back a lot, and he's a very aggressive card. So you don't have to worry about being bustled off the ball too much. You will obviously get those bigger players like your Sissokos and Pogbas who will dominate. But overall, this card will just hold off the majority of midfielders, keep going well, and hold off the other players with ease. His shooting was a bit of a letdown, guys. I did find that that was the one thing that I wanted him to be better at, was his long shooting. I didn't get any clips of that because it was just terrible in the end. I just didn't really want to show that to you guys. Again, you can see a lovely ball in there for that goal. And the next one here, again, will be another assist. Again, just picking out a nice easy ball. It's not difficult to do, but it's just about picking the right pass. Lovely shot there off the bar as well. Finally here, we've got the goal that I scored with him. Again, driving from that heart of midfield, he makes the good run, and this is a first time left foot ping into the top corner. So guys, for this final summary on Bastian Schweinsteiger, the German mid-icon, he is going for 510 on the PlayStation and 500 on the Xbox. 6 games played, 1 goal and 3 assists, so a decent return. From the stats, it doesn't look like the best return, but I'm telling you guys, this card was absolutely phenomenal. I loved using it. His stamina interceptions for me were absolutely phenomenal. He was intercepting a lot of balls. I think he intercepted on average 3 or 4 a game, so really good in that regard for me as well. And acceleration, of course, is the big down point of this card, and maybe of every Schweinsteiger card, is that he's not the quickest guy. That is something you will have to live with if you choose to play with this card. He is very good technically, but again, it is a bit of a drawback. His agility as well, you have to be more calculated, like I said before, with how you use this card. You can't just run up and down the pitch with him constantly and dodge in and out of tackles. I put the Deadeye here because his shooting does need a boost. Maybe his passing does as well. You could also use a Shadow, you could use an Engine, you could do any number of chemistry styles here to boost this card. Whatever you use, it is quite decent. I don't think he's a very good value for money right now, guys, and although I have recommended to buy him, I would say wait until he drops a little more and then go and get this card if you would like to get him. He is an absolutely phenomenal midfielder. He conducts the midfield so well, so cleanly. Really is a bit of a general in there. As you guys can see, the stats rating and enjoyment rating for me, I thoroughly enjoyed using the card, so it wasn't a case of that this card isn't worth it and I wouldn't go and get it at all. I really did thoroughly enjoy using it. But that is it for this review, and I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, please do smash that like button, and until next time, I will see you in a bit.